let's discuss something. Let's jump into something that we talked about a few weeks ago, but we talked about part one. And part two was recently released. I'm talking about a very good documentary on DJ on Fox Soul. They just released part two. I'm curious, have you seen, before we jump into it, have you seen part two yet, Lance?
Yes, I did. I was they had a screening on Sunday. We went up to Hollywood in Soho, and saw it at a private theater. Yes.
Nice. All right, let's break it down, man, because there were a couple things in there that I would love to touch on. We've talked about in the past, but we're going to discuss again, being that this is a hot topic in the documentary world. Now, watching part two, in it, Michel'le goes deeper into his career as an adult film director.
Yep.
Now, they discuss kind of simultaneously as he started doing the adult films, Eazy E's life was taken away by AIDS. Let's play a little clip of this, Lonzo, and I would love your thoughts on this and maybe even dive a little bit deeper. This is DJ Michel'le's documentary, You Can't Erase Me, where he discusses Eazy E and AIDS right around the time his adult career became successful.
Know how he contracted AIDS.
I found out the news he got AIDS. I'm like, that's what you wanted. So, is it cross? Is it, like porn and, all this going on, all this mixing, but so I kind of, it shocked me, like, oh, AIDS. And then I had to think about AIDS. Yeah, I could see E passing from AIDS because we did our thing in them days. So you never know where he got it from, or people say, oh, he got injected. I don't feel that. I really didn't feel that.
We've talked about this at length in the past, and many people would agree that something fishy was up with Eazy's passing. We've seen Magic Johnson still alive today. You've talked about Rock Hudson and seeing his decline and things like that. But talk to me about what you feel about DJ Michel'le saying, I mean, it makes sense because we were banging a lot of chicks back then.
They were doing a lot back then. To my knowledge, Eazy didn't do a whole lot with the porn chicks. I don't know, dude. I can't speak on that part right there. But if there was something that was, I see Michel'le doing more than Eazy. Eazy was a little more cautious, I would think. Maybe the circumstances prove me wrong, but nobody ever came forward to say that, hey, I'm the one that he got it from, or nobody, none of his kids, wife, anything had it, and he died so fast. And that was the whole thing behind. That was the whole thing for me and anybody else that smelled something a little fishy, is that he died so fast from it, man. He was fine. Eazy was at my house a couple of months before he died. Okay, he was in my pad. And he always had a touch of asthma or bronchitis, and for it to manifest and develop and take him out the way it did, it just didn't feel right. Especially when Magic Johnson had HIV, and he's still kicking it with no signs. Like I said, when first person I ever heard dying of AIDS was Rock Hudson, and it took him forever to die. It was on the news every day. Rock Hudson rests comfortably at his Beverly Hills home as he suffers from the effects of AIDS. And I'm like, okay, when is this dude gonna check out? And it was like that, dude. It was 5, 6, 7 months. He was, I can't recall exactly now, but it was quite some time. It was a daily part of the daily news, Rock Hudson's condition as he suffered from AIDS. And to see Eazy go in like 3 weeks, dude, I ain't know it even moving like that. I have to my knowledge, that no one else has passed that fast from AIDS other than Eazy.
Before and after, right?
Before and after.
Yeah, that's real interesting, man. Yes, something else Michel'le mentioned in this documentary was he mentioned that most of his demons, quote, came from music. And he even mentioned that when he called in to our program a couple of weeks ago. And it got me to thinking, imagine having to sleep at night knowing your music was responsible, could have been responsible, most likely was responsible for the unaliving of thousands upon thousands of Black kids. That was the soundtrack to the streets. You said something interesting. You said at least turn off the lights. Y'all were producing babies, not coffins. And you broke it down real nicely with that. But talk to me about, your thoughts on that. Do you think, and And how does one sleep at night knowing that their product that they are creating might be possible for poisoning a lot of people and killing a lot of people?
If you don't have a conscience, you sleep fine. If you don't know, if you don't understand the damage that you do, it's like, what's that term? A psychopath. A psychopath don't sleep fine at night. Okay, they don't have no remorse whatsoever when it comes to their actions. And I'm not calling them psychopaths by no means, but if you don't have the wherewithal, I mean, if you don't never had the spiritual guidance to realize that what you're doing could negatively affect somebody else, then it's, there's no way, you don't have any guardrails to make you realize, hey, I'm bucking up. You don't have that. So you can do what you do and do it comfortably and not even know you're doing something wrong, man. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying something that you're doing something that's affecting the community.
Would you say that question or that theory, that thought has probably popped up in each and every member of N.W.A.'s mind at least once during their career? And something I'm creating could possibly be responsible for the unaliving of a lot of people?
Well, I would think maybe so, but I would think also at the time it was such a phenomenon. It's initially, and I keep telling people forget, initially it wasn't what it became. It was all about expressing yourself, something to dance to, Panic Zone. It was about reality raps, and sometimes things, get misguided. You see something, you say something here over here, and people respond in such a positive way. You just drift over there and make that your main lane. And I think that's what happened in a lot of ways. They, if you look at them, man, they were not gangsters. I keep telling folks, look at their early clothing, look at their early lyrics, They were not gangsters. They morphed into gangsters after the news gave them that title. That's when they started wearing the Raider gear and the blacked out clothes. For the very first promo pictures, Yella had on the tam, Dre had on the regular old pair of jeans, and nobody was looking thuggish, okay? Nobody was looking thuggish. Nobody was talking thuggish. Nobody was thugs, okay? Nobody was thugs. Eazy sold some dope, but nobody else, to my knowledge, and not three of them I know personally, they were not into that type of lifestyle, and they were able to take something they heard, something they saw, and make it and tell the story, and the other people ran with it and made it a lifestyle. Big difference. Big difference. I could tell a life story I could tell you a tale about all kinds of stuff. Don't mean I really did it. Now, if you take what I'm